Hey guys, it's TEW2016 Maxwell here and welcome to episode 43 of TNA. Making an Impact, you join us for our final pay-per-view of 2016. It's TNA Final Resolution and hopefully we have a good show. We've got every title on the line and a couple of feuds will end here, a couple will begin. So without further ado, we'll just start right into the show and I hope you guys enjoy it. We're running it in the New England region. Let's see how it goes down. So 9,570 in the Convention Centre Exhibition Hall in wherever it is in New England. And we have our usual hype package before the show. We then get the pyro and then we're greeted by our usual announce team of Mike TNA and Lenny Leonard. Mike TNA says hello everyone and welcome to TNA Final Resolution, our final pay-per-view of 2016. And partner, what a show we have in store for the viewers tonight. Lenny Leonard says that's right Mike, every title is on the line. We have Phoenix defending the X Division Championship against Kenny Omega. We have the BC defending the Tag Team Championships against not one, but three other teams in a fatal four-way match. Of course, there's the Tribunal, the Wolves, and the Decay. And we also have Sienna defending her Knockouts Championship against former friend and rookie, Ali. And of course, how can we forget the TNA World Heavyweight Championship as Fergal Devitt defends it against the Rockstar himself, Chris Jericho. All this plus more, including EC3, Rey Mysterio, and we start off with a grudge match under hardcore rules. It's Bram versus Jeff Hardy. So, run down of the card, getting the crowd hyped, and a D44 rating there for the announce team. So we got straight into that matchup and it had a decent reaction from the crowd, but it had subpar wrestling and it saw Bram defeat Jeff Hardy in 12:09 by pinfall while using a foreign object. It was a disappointing D45. Jeff was off his game. Because these two don't click, that was going to be the last match between them. But Bram goes over. Jeff gets a 44, Bram a 45. I felt like Bram's someone I could use long term. Jeff Hardy, I don't really know what to do with him, so we'll try and think of maybe a redemption storyline after this. And the segment advanced the storyline but lost heat. There were no skill improvements, but a good victory for Bram, and a few negatives there. Match style. Crowd didn't expect the hardcore match, but just felt like that this feud kind of needed it, to be honest. And of course, Bram not happy being in a hardcore match. Bram has cheated his way to victory over Jeff Hardy. He quickly escapes to the back while Jeff struggles to get to his feet and needs some assistance to get to the back from the referee. He looks up at the screen with the crowd giving him a big ovation. The question is Jeff Hardy now past it? So a C-59 questions asked about the future of Jeff Hardy, and that will be a good segment there. Next up in a match that had subpar wrestling and a little heat, Sienna defeated Ali in 7:20 by pinfall with cutthroat. Sienna makes defense number 3 of the TNA Knockouts title. The D44, I have an idea of wanting this storyline to go, so I feel like the title should stay on Sienna. But a good big exposure for Ali. She's getting better at her gimmick. Showing a 32 performance, Sienna with the 46. It continues the TNA Knockouts storyline. No skill improvements here, and negatives there, both ladies holding back. So that's unfortunate, but a division that still has to improve. And will. Watch this space. Sienna has absolutely destroyed Ali. She gets a 1-2-3, and then she just stands above her. She then kicks her twice while Ali's still down. She picks Ali back up and slams her down and shouts to the referee to count again. The referee seems reluctant before he decides to count the 1-2-3 yet again. Sienna gets up laughing as trainers and EMTs rush to help Ali. So an E28. Of course, both ladies struggling a bit over this. It continues the knockout storyline. However, it lost a bit of heat. Next up and about that had some subpar wrestling and little heat. Kenny Omega defeated Phoenix in 11:40 by pinfall with a cross-legged Fisherman's Buster. Kenny Omega becomes TNA X Division Champion again. So a D+49, I just felt like Phoenix wasn't performing at the levels that I need him to perform at as champion. And I don't think there's space yet for Kenny Omega to move up to a higher division, so put the title back on him. let him run with it. Phoenix got the 41, Kenny Omega with 50, and the X Division storyline continues. Phoenix improves performance skills though, and was penalised for stamina in an 11-minute match. That's worrying. Next up, it was the bout for the Tag Team Championships, and in a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. The Decay defeated the American Wolves, the Tribunal, and the BC in 1706. The Tribunal went first, then the American Wolves, and then finally the BC. As I say, the Decay are now TNA World Tag Team Champions. So a C plus 66 just felt like, yeah, put the titles back on them. I have an idea what I want to do with them. They've got a storyline, unlike what they had previously. Basil Baraka not suited to his gimmick. Baron Dax was off his game. Rosemary doing some good work at ringside. The match got the crowd a little bit hotter. Good performance, Eddie Edwards 70, Davey Richards 73, 35 for Baron Dax, a 42 for Basil Baraka, 40 for Crazy Steve, 63 for Abyss, Nick and Matt Jackson 70 and 69 respectively. Performance increased for Abyss, Crazy Steve and Baron Dax, but the Decay walk out as champions. A few negatives there in the dirt sheet, the likes of mostly for Baron Dax it seems, but just giving these kind of guys a chance, Baron Dax, Basil Baraka, Crazy Steve, and hopefully they can grow as the company grows. The Decay have shocked the world with an impressive victory over the BC, the Tribunal, and the Wolves. Have become TNA World Tag Team Champions. They start to celebrate before out from the back rushes Bobby Roode, of course the tag team partner of James Storm, who Abyss took out on Impact. And then suddenly the lights go out. They're out for about 5 seconds, and upon return the Decay are nowhere in sight, but everyone else who was in the match is still laying around, either in the ring or around the ring. We see Roode standing in the middle, clearly shouting "damn it," as he can't get his revenge on the Decay for his friend. So the angle got crowd hotter, it continues the storyline, however lost heat, and it's a D47. So quite happy with that. Next up in a decent matchup, Bobby Lashley defeated Brian Cage in 10:54 when Brian Cage was disqualified when Mike Bennett ran in and attacked Bobby Lashley. So a C plus 66 here. Bobby Lashley with 69, Cage with 46. Couldn't really put Cage over Lashley so far, and I felt like we need something to do with Mike Bennett, so we'll see where this one goes. Is there some sort of alliance between Brian Cage and Mike Bennett? Remains to be seen, but a decent matchup there. Nice introduction to pay-per-view for Brian Cage. Next up and about, they had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Shibata defeated Jay Lethal in 16:42 by stoppage when Jay Lethal could not continue. Shibata makes his first defence of the TNA National Championship. A very, very good B82, great chemistry between these two, delivering such a rating. Lethal get a 77, Shibata a 67, and the storyline advanced and gained heat. And that's tempted me to do a third match if they're going to get ratings like that. No skill improvements, negatives, just the inconsistency of Shibata. But overall, a well worked match, and that can only do good for Shibata. We then cut to the ring. We've got a surprise appearance from Adam Cole. Adam Cole says, "Hold up people, let me get this right. We have a TNA pay-per-view, and we don't have Adam Cole in a scheduled match. What's the deal with that? I'm a marquee player here in TNA and management refuses to use me? Nah, we ain't having that. I am challenging any TNA superstar in the back to come forward and face me, and I'll make short work of you and prove TNA management need me." Pause happens, and out comes from the back Bobby Roode storming to the ring. Bobby Roode gets in his face and says, "So you're looking for a fight, are you? Just be thankful I'm looking for one too, since the Decay aren't around anymore. So let's get straight to this." Adam Cole says, Whoa, anyone but you. I wasn't expecting you to come." And he gets attacked. Bang, Roode starts laying into Cole, before out of nowhere a referee rushes to the ring and they start an impromptu match. So we get Bobby Roode, Adam Cole, one-on-one on Final Resolution. So B plus 84 for that, outstanding from these two. The match might suffer a little bit from lack of storyline, but done okay. And about that had some good heat and decent wrestling. Bobby Roode defeated Adam Cole in 16-17 with the payoff. C plus 69 could have been a bit better. Unfortunately, of course, we've still got the Adam Cole injury. Both men didn't click, so it was an awkward bout. So we're getting that with a few guys here. Jeff Hardy, Bram, Bobby Roode, Adam Cole, so it's worrying. But Adam Cole with a 61, Bobby Roode with a 66. Bobby Roode improving performance skills. Overall, a good match up there. Just like a C plus 69, still pretty decent for where TNA are at the moment, and we can only just keep improving. Next up, we've got a hype video for EC3 versus Rey Mysterio. We all know the feud now. Mysterio was meant to tag with EC3, failed the wellness policy, and EC3 turned, not trusting anyone, and he's yet to get that win over Rey Mysterio. So a C minus 58. The segment continued the storyline and lost heat. But the matchup itself was a good success, and about the had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. EC3 defeated Rey Mysterio finally in 17:09 with the Sweet Meat Sizzler, a B minus 76. Mysterio was visibly tired toward the end. We'll sort out EC3's gimmick eventually. I don't want to change it because it still says it's too early. But Mysterio was 68, EC3 was 72, and the Bail Done Me storyline advances, gained heat, and that will probably be the end of this feud. But I say we get 3 good matches out of them. We'll get the repetitive booking if we do it again, so I just felt like, yeah, we'll go with that. Just negatives, both gentlemen's stamina, Mysterio's inconsistency, a good win for EC3. Next up, we've got Chris Jericho, who's with JB. JB says, basically, tonight, Chris Jericho, you challenge for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship for the first time. What are your thoughts going into this matchup with Fergal Devitt? Well, JB, you're right. This is my first time challenging for this title, but it's far from my first rodeo. Tonight, I will use that experience edge to overcome Fergal Devitt and become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Don't get me wrong, he's a hell of a competitor, one of the best in the world, but I am truly the best in the world at what I do. JB says, do you have a strategy for tonight? To which Jericho replies, do I have a strategy? We'll put it this way, I'm hardly going to reveal it live on pay-per-view, am I, Junior? Just wait till the match happens, idiot. So, a bit edgy there, I know Jericho with the questions, but he's hyping up this is going to be a classic. A P plus 87, good rating for Chris. He's getting better at his gimmick, continues the storyline, and the storyline gains a bit of heat. The hype video for the matchup lost heat in the segment, but got a B minus 72. And the matchup itself, drumroll, not bad, an exceptional matchup. Fergal Devitt and Chris Jericho went for 24 minutes and 13 seconds, and Fergal Devitt wins with a double knee gutbuster. And he makes the second defence of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So a B minus 73, despite the fact that Devitt got 75 and Jericho got 80. I think I can see the reasoning why I had to book Jericho strong. So he had put Devitt over, but I feel like it's the perfect guy to put Devitt to that next level. Storyline advances, no skill improvements, negatives, stamina, Jericho's declining physical ability, somewhat the WWE save, both of them being face in the booking decisions, so you take a 2 of them away, that's maybe into the 80s. But I'm still happy with that. Devitt gets through a good matchup, and it'll be interesting to see how both men's overness is reflected after this match. And when the show, he's done it. Somehow, someway, Fergal Devitt continually comes over the odds by defeating the experienced Chris Jericho. He nails him with the double foot stomp, because I thought that's what it would use, and he gets the 3 count over Jericho after a long, brutal battle. Devitt takes some time before getting to his feet and gets the title off the referee. He holds it up as Chris Jericho slowly gets to his feet. They stare off and talk a little before Jericho offers his hand. Devitt seems hesitant at first before deciding to shake the hand of Jericho, and Jericho raises his hand. Jericho then leaves the ring to allow Devitt to enjoy his moment. So a good win for Devitt over Jericho, and then Jericho being sportsmanlike for once. So a B plus 88 to finish the show. It continues the storyline and got a bit of heat onto it. Whether we continue these two, I don't know. Got a long time to make up my idea anyway, you know what I mean? We've got 5 weeks to the next pay-per-view. We'll see where we go, but overall, happy with that. The show gets a B-74 because obviously a lot of good angles, but not matches at the same level. Same again, we get up in the 19 regions we expect to get up in, which is America, Canada, and the UK, as always, so that's good. Only negative, Basil Baraka used too much, but it's going to take time to get him over. But straight away, I think you have to go. I think we'll go Rey Mysterio and EC3. I think they've done a good job, so we'll put them over for a good performance. Overall, good show. Got over a lot of storylines, getting over a couple of workers. In fact, as much as I've praised them, I should probably praise Shibata as well. So Mysterio's pleased, EC3's pleased, Shibata's pleased as well. So very surprised how good that match between Shibata and Lethal went, but fair play to them, you know, they delivered. So Del Rio extends his contract with WWE. I didn't eventually go for that. We did, after mentioning the last one, that Tangaroa is going to go to New Japan. They actually have signed him in a written deal. So Mika is no more, which is ideal. It's a face off the roster. Apart from that, the show was great. The fans enjoyed it, it seems. Could we have done better in buy rates? Possibly, but overall, happy with that. 0.28 pay-per-view, a 0.05 in TV, so we might need to look to try and get better companies for that. But the main thing is, you know, we're making a bit of money. Up to 5.8 million, we will lose a bit of that. But regardless, we should win a bit of money. We'll still get a few events to go for ticket sales, a lot of TV money to go. We still have 3 weeks of television. Then we'll have sponsorship money in that as well. As far as the pay-per-view numbers were, not horrible, not as good as the last 2 months, but of course Bound for Glory is expected to be bigger. But decent, nonetheless. So a quick look at size. Standard, everything about 53, so that's plenty of time to get to where we need to be. As I say, it'll take more than the next year to get there. Actually, just going to have a quick look what's the industry. Especially industry rising, actually might help us get there quicker. But the quicker we can get there, the better. Get more guys in. Maybe look at a second TV show, but it's vital that the wrestlers we've got right now grow in overness while the company grows, or it's going to be detrimental in the long run. So finally, Fergal got a big boost to his overness. So he joined us, 50 overness, we've managed to get him from 50 to 73, so he's going to be the guy that is the face that runs the place effectively, if he's going to be sitting with that much overness, so that's good. The feud with Jericho's helped him. He's 35, easily get 4 or 5 years out of him. And Jericho, whose overness was at the 80s, has actually increased his overness as well. So again, win-win. Jericho, you see there, started the 80s, 81 since he came to us, and 83s, 84. So he's certainly increasing his overness, which is good. I thought that maybe hampered Jericho, but it's certainly bringing folk to Jericho's level to give us more guys over. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I say, if you get any comments on the show, let me know what you thought. You know, what was your favourite match? Did any matches surprise you? Do you have any predictions for who could create a splash in 2017? As always, let me know how your own saves are getting on. If you've any problems, we'll see if we can fix them as well. If it's technical or even just booking issues, let us know. Likes and subscriptions are always deeply appreciated, so this stuff can drop into your sub box when they're available. And of course, if you want to get involved in the TW YouTube-ness, couple of guides down below, places to start off with. Fantasy Bookers is a great place to get a lot of information and to put your stuff on. A lot of people will find it that way. It's a good way to interact with other bookers and really meet some of the community. And well, the Grey Dog software website, you know, the forums, it's pretty much the hub. Get everything there. You get mod makers, you've got dynasties, you've got information, you've got you name it, it's there. 2 places I deeply recommend. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, deeply appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you for the next Impact as we head into 2017. Bye bye.